human. Before they go on to the challenge, do you think they know how to fix a robot? Do you know?
Fixing a robot. I actually don't think I know how to fix a robot. How about you, Samir? Do you know how to fix a robot?
I don't know much about it, Senoth, but that is why we have two distinguished individuals to guide us through this. Mr. Odil Janadith and Mr. Surath Fernando are here to take us through the world of smart industry and robotics on the question, how can automation improve real-world tasks?
We cordially invite Mr. Odil Janadith and Mr. Surath Fernando to continue their session. A round of applause as we welcome them on stage, everybody.
So good morning, everyone. So I hope you have been listening to some of the speeches. So I don't think this will be like another speech. I want this to be a conversation between myself, I'm Odil, and Surath, and between you as well. So it's actually really good if you can interact with us too. So let's see how this goes. So the session topic is smart industries and robotics. So I'm pretty sure you know about these industries. I mean, maybe you have been to field visits into some of these factories where they have machinery, manufacturing some things, and they have assembly lines. I'm pretty sure you have seen this. Can you raise your hands if you have seen these type of assembly lines, manufacturing plants? Raise your hand. Anyone?
Are you guys with us? Hi. You feel bored? Oh.
What happened?
Alright, so stay with us because we will be sharing one of the most important things for you all. And if you can take notes, it's also good for you because we have very limited time to talk, and we'll be giving a lot of things about the technology, from very basic things to very advanced things, right? So take down the notes and go home and do the research from your side. But we'll give you a lot of information here, right? So bear with us and try to grab as much as possible. So yeah. And also we would like to hear from you as well.
At the same time, I think some of you have to do a task. So you have to you have a task to let your robot navigate and find out some components and assemble it as well. So while we're doing the session, I hope you can continue the competition as well. So I wish you all the best of luck for that competition, and let's go into the session. So now this topic is all about smart industries and robotics, Surath, right? So when I talk about smart industries, the first thing that comes to my mind is automations. So Surath, why do we need these automations, and what's up with this whole buzz about automations, and how this thing has been with these industries and how these things happening in the world right now? Can you give some insight here?
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point to start. So automation. So before talking about why automation, do you guys know what is automation actually? Anyone? Any idea? What is automation? We use it day to day, right? All right. So let's take a washing machine, right? So what do we do with that? We put some clothes in, and we put some detergents into it, and set up some timing and everything, right? Then what happens? Do we need to stay all time until the washing is completing? All right. That's the thing. So if we can give instructions to a machine or a computer, and itself can do the task with a minimum impact or minimum involvement from the human, that is what we call automation, right? So that is where everything is starting from. So this automation, these systems have kind of very simple but very important characteristics. So the first thing is speed and precision. With machines, I think you all have seen there are car manufacturing machines, and there are so many robotics automation systems which works in a very precise manner. Even in medical sector, today they are using robotics to do very critical brain surgeries and heart surgeries. So it has very good precision and also the speed. And the second thing, consistency. Can we work like for 10, 20 days all along, like continually? No, right? We get fed up, we get bored, and we are tired, but not the machines. In manufacturing plants, in the factories, they work for months, week for months, and some computers are for years in the banking sector. So they are not breaking down. So they have a really good consistency. And also the safety. You know, when it comes to the chemical environments or hazard environments, definitely we can use these machines, right? Because the human, they are safe. So that is like three main, very simple, but most impactful characteristics that we meet with all these systems. So I think you all have seen the BYD cars, right? Sea Lion, Seal, a lot of stuff going around. So do you know how fast they manufacture these cars from the manufacturing plants? In every 60 seconds to 70 seconds, they say that they give out another new car, right? So that is how fast they're working now. So imagine in a couple of years, we'll be seeing like so many electric vehicles, electric cars around the country, around the world as well, not only in Sri Lanka. So with that, I think you all have heard about the industry revolution. Have you? Any idea? Do I need to explain about that?
I think you learned that in your textbooks, right? So how this industry has been transformed over the centuries from industry 1.0 to, and now we have industry 4.0, right, Surath?
Exactly, exactly. So I think even in the history, you have learned about these things, right? So starting from the industry 1.0, that means actually powering up the machines by using the steam turbines, right? The steam engines. And then it goes through the vacuum tube, finding the diode, and then it comes to the transistors. And then what happened? We started to use computers, and we started to connect all the things with the network, and we built the IoT systems, which is what we are using right now, which started early 2010. And now we are trying to give as much as work to the machines. That is what we have been trying in Industry 4.0. And what changes today is in 2022, with AI and machine learning, all these new technologies, and also the 5G communication method, everything has changed. And now we are more centric to personalized experiences, and also to guide these, let's say, the manufacturing plants or the factories with the machines, not by giving them all to the machine, but we are going to work with machine. So that is called human with machines, right? And also we are going to use a lot of AIoT, artificial intelligence of things. So these are the things, these are the trends that will be coming up, and this will be the industry that you are going to work on in the future. So you have to now focus on them and work on them, otherwise you will miss this. Because the new trend is starting very, very recently, right? So this is your time to study and more focusedly work on these things. Sorry for the colors and all in the screen. I think we haven't been ready for the screen. So yeah, we can move forward. All right, so we talk a little bit about the automation. That is the starting point. So I think we have been talking about the car manufacturing and stuff. So automation now getting involved. It is shifting to the autonomy. So what do you think about that, Odil? The autonomy.
Yeah, so this is actually a very interesting transformation. So over the years, we have been seeing like different types of robots working in different arenas. So they have been programmed into one specific task. And now we have much more autonomous and independent systems that can do like multiple tasks. So have you seen about dark factories? Have you heard about dark factories before?
Anyone?
Anyone?
The dark factories? You guys are in the YouTube and all the social media platforms, right?
So this has been like very much trending, I guess, in social media. So if you can play that. So these dark factories are working completely under darkness because there are no humans working at these factories, only robots. So robots can sense and understand the environment and do the factories. Now in this case, they are manufacturing cars. So that's how companies like BYD are slowly transforming into much more efficient organizations. So this is where the industries are going towards, from automation to autonomy. If you move to the next slide. Yeah. So over the years, we have seen a lot of traditional automation things. So usually that comes with IoT. So we have several sensors placed all around a very large premise. That could be an agricultural site. That could be a manufacturing plant. So there are a lot of sensors mounted in those premises, and those are most of the times fixed sensors. They are stationary, they cannot be moved, and when we have to expand our premise or when we have to change the factory, it's going to be very expensive, right? To remove all the sensors and mount them and maybe upgrade them, that's very expensive. To change, it's very hard. But with the requirements today, we are moving toward where we can have systems that can adapt based on the requirement, not just fixed, boring stuff that are going to stay there for centuries. That's not the age we are in now today. We have to have systems that can adapt. Go to the next slide. So the requirements here today are, we should be able to sense, learn, and take decisions on the spot. So those machines are not going to be that washing machine Surath talked about, right? Those have to be very intelligent machines. So they can adapt into the situation. And they have to work in real time as well. And then they should be able to redeploy. So once we deploy a robot or a machine to in a premise, we should be able to redeploy it at any time we want, wherever, whenever we require to do. So now we can understand autonomy is a combination of automations plus intelligence. So we are creating these machines more smarter and more efficient by giving them the intelligence. So how can we see robotics as a driving force behind this shift from automations to autonomy? Surath, what do you think about this?
Exactly, Odil. So the robotics today is a game-changing point for the world, right? So even in Sri Lanka, we have started some of the cutting-edge researches and the projects working on, but the robotics has a way more to go because this is going to be the first couple of years that we are going to experience the new technology with a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence impact. Right. So let's look at some of the different type of robots. So we have underwater robots, maybe you have seen in the movies, and ground robots, aerial robots like the drones that we are using to deliver the Amazon packages maybe, and also humanoid robots, robot manipulators and service robots like cleaning robots, maybe you also have in your home. So these are like the different type of robots. Now we can see. When we were at very young age, it was like only in the movies, but now we can see them in the real life. So these are some of the industries that are focused on developing different type of robots. So even in the welding, cooking, and in the bomb disposal, the military side, and as well as the cleaning, remote monitoring, all these stuff are coming up. And these are the new industry, right? This is the new industry. So let's look at a very short video. This will show you how the things have evolved. right, since the sound is not there, I will explain about this car. So this is a fully autonomous car, which is created by the Waymo company, and
Dava, senior product lead for driving behavior at Waymo.
What you're looking at is the Waymo driver in action. Adapted for a variety of vehicle platforms, it is the most advanced, fully autonomous driving technology in the world today.
I can see
What
some
you notice
of
pretty
raise
quickly
hands.
is that these aren't
So you have to
normal
raise your
vehicles.
hand like this, right?
Take
Be
this
confident.
Jaguar I-Pace, for example. It's been equipped with an
All right.
elegant array of
Nice to see.
sensors and software, which
So you
allows
can
it
see
to move through the city
LiDARs that
on
are
its own.
mounted on top of these cars.
That's correct.
That
The Waymo
spinning
driver
wheel.
is a
So that's
combination
actually
of
what
custom
maps the
designed hardware and
environment,
software
while
that
the
is responsible
car
for
is able to
performing the
go in an
entire act of
unstructured
driving.
environment.
That was
So
James
these roads,
Philbin.
they're pretty dynamic,
He's an
right?
engineering
You
lead
cannot
on the
say,
perception
it's not
team
like
at Waymo.
that like wall-firing robot
I
that
asked him
we'll
to
make
break
in
down
a
the technology for us a bit
like
more.
for a science fair.
The
or
Waymo
maybe
driver
competition,
handles
right?
the task of driving
There are
in 3 basic
pedestrians, there are
steps.
cars. It's
Sense,
very dynamic. We have to
solve,
adapt in real time.
and go.
Because we are dealing with lives, right?
It's the way we
Lives of the
describe the highly
pedestrians and
complex
lives of the
process
passengers in the
of
vehicle.
acquiring information, processing
So you
it,
can see
and
how
moving
the
through the world
sensing
safely.
and the intelligence
So,
is
what goes
working
into
hand
all
in
that
hand
sensing?
to make something like this a success.
The sensors that the Waymo driver uses are incredibly powerful, using a combination of LiDAR, camera,
you all can go home and do the research, search about those things. So basically, when it comes to the robots, it's about, first thing is about sense, right? They also want to see what is around. They have the sensors, like we have eyes, nose, and the ears, right? So they sense first, and then they think about that. They process. They make decisions. And then what they do? They take the actions. That is what changes from the autonomy to the robotics. And today, the general purpose robots are on the rise. Odil will talk about general robots. So that basically coming from the AI and perception and the mobility. So what I wanted to say is, here's the future. So these are the industries. Because today everyone is like worrying, okay, the AI will take our jobs. What will be the future and all, right? So you have to see what are the opportunities as well. So with these emerging technologies, if you are really passionate about the technology and also the future, the robots and all, you should definitely get into this, right? Yeah. Okay, so Odil?
Yeah, so now before going to general purpose robots, so these are the types of robots that we have been seeing in our day-to-day lives, right? Maybe in movies, maybe in like news. So I'm pretty sure you have seen these teleoperated robots. They have been mostly used in like bomb disposal codes. So they can remote control a robot and it can go into like near bomb and dispose it. And then we have shared control type of automated systems. I mean, can you give some example? I think we just said it a minute earlier. Cars like Waymo or Tesla, right? They can be driven autonomously, and also at the same time a human can take the charge and drive it. And then we have vehicles like drones. So they can be controlled by human, but they do have some autonomous capabilities inbuilt as well. And then we have the fully autonomous robots. So like this Perseverance robot that was deployed in Mars. So they can work on their own. There's nothing being controlled by humans. They are on their own by themselves. So moving from autonomous systems, so you can see these are being aligned to one specific task. Now, if I ask you a question, what makes humans and robots different, what would be your answer? I'm pretty sure it would be that humans can adapt into different tasks. We are actually versatile. But robots, they are being always programmed to do one specific task. But that's been changing now. Now we are talking about general purpose robots, and that's been the trend now. Robots that can adapt into different tasks. So you can see this video where a humanoid robot, a robot that looks like a human, is working on their own, and it can collaborate with another robot and can like manipulate objects like milk crates, fruits, and place them in order and act on their own. So this is very much like human level intelligence and human level behavior. So this is where the cutting edge at robotics is working at.
Okay, I'd like to try something new.
Yeah, I think the video is a bit loady.
Even though this is the very first time that you've ever seen these items, I'd like you to use your new Helix AI and try to reason through where you think they belong in the scene, and then work together to put them away. Does that sound good?
So the video is a bit blurred because of the resolution issues, I guess. But I think you can get the idea. So these robots can like track the objects and go on. So I can open the fridge and place the stuff inside the fridge and even hand over the objects to the other robot. So this general purpose capability is being given to these robots by combining AI with these robotic systems. So then they've been able to generalize this task and this capability to handle tasks on these systems. And then they have these capabilities to manipulate different stuff and adapt themselves to like grasp different objects. And then they have been able to like coordinate between another robot without any training beforehand, and they can work in collaborative conditions as well. And that's been done by having one neural network or one intelligence system to do everything. That's why I say they are general purpose robots. There are not like multiple systems working together to do multiple tasks, only one system to do all the tasks. So that's the innovation that comes up with this robotic system developed by Figure. So in robotics, what we're actually trying to go through is to achieve this level called world models, where we don't have to have like any pre-training processes. The robots can understand the world by itself and act upon it. So that comes with sensing the environment, planning, and acting the things on the go. So then we can see several implementations that we can see in the world. Maybe Surath, you can carry on with that.
So you will see some of the demonstrations as well we have brought here. So these are the Boston Dynamics robots. I think you have seen, maybe you have not. The companies who are working on the cutting edge robotic solutions in Europe. And even in USA, there are so many research are going on. But mostly, now in China, they are massively producing a very low-cost robot as well. So I think there's a small internet connection issue, right? All right.
You're not to know.
So have you, any one of you have seen this demonstration? In the Disney Research Studios, right? Odil, can you start? Can you explain it?
Yeah. So this robot is called Groot, right? So have you seen this robot before?
But if you're not so nice to the character, it can get
So this robot has been jointly collaborated with NVIDIA. So you can see the cute personality of this robot. So this is not just a robot that will go here and there and work on its own. It has its own personality. So that's how it actually is going to work. So it's not like a robot that's been told like you go there, you say this, and now go and sit down. It's not like that. So they have their own programmable like memory, so they can work on their own. So I guess okay. So now we are actually working in a system in our RoboticGen labs, which is our R&D work as well. So that's called Obadog. So maybe Surath, you can talk a bit about our initiation until I set up the robot.
Sure. Odil. So as an industry, in Sri Lanka, we have not seen many robotics companies or startups, right? So when we were at the university, we thought of starting something which will be futuristic. And at that time, we wanted to start in a way what we can start. So first we started an academy for robotics. And then we nurtured our knowledge and we gave our knowledge to most of the students in our country. And then we started building solutions. So this is Obadog, and this is one of the demonstration, one of the R&Ds, the projects that we are going through. So what do you think? What do you think this guy can do? Do you have any idea? So this is called a quadruped type robot, who's having the legged robot. And as you have seen in the previous videos, this guy is also having a LiDAR sensor here, which can detect and map the environment which is around us. And this guy can go autonomously in any environment, not any environment, but there are some constraints with the foot height and everything. But if we give the environment to map, and then it will be doing its own things. And we can even let this guy to do some predictive maintenance. Like we can give these spots to go there, and like you can sense what is there and take the readings. Let's say we are going to work in a manufacturing plant, right? So now what happens is there are static sensors in each and every places in the plant. But what is going to happen in the future is the robots are coming to the place and they are going to be the dynamic sensors of the environment. So they will carry all the sensors on top of the robot and it will go to the places, they will read what are the readings, they will predict what they can do, and they will report them in the systems. Maybe you have heard like SCADA systems, there are a lot of softwares behind the very big plants. So this is going to be one of the next generation solutions.
Yeah. So I think we have few more minutes, I guess. So I think it's better to like talk a bit about this robot. So I'm pretty sure you're curious to know like what's been done in this robot. So here you can see the robot base. So it has 4 legs. So can someone say how many motors are there in one leg? Any volunteer? Who can just raise your hand and say how many motors are there in one leg? Any? I think there's a bit more distance here between us and you. Any more? No one? Okay, there are actually 3 motors in one leg. That means 12 motors in the whole system. So it has to run 12 motors parallelly. And this has been powered by an 8000 mAh battery. And then we have, as a computing stack, we have been developed a computing stack based on NVIDIA's Jetson Ori Nano Super, which they released in December last year. So that's like the state-of-the-art computing system that we have developed on top of the robot. And then we are developing our own sensing system. So here we have a 3D LiDAR. A LiDAR you can see in Waymo car, that autonomous car that you saw in the video, that had a spinning top, right? That was a sensor that sensed the environment. So this has this same sensor, a different model of course, a same 3D LiDAR, which can map the whole environment in full in 3D. And it can detect you, it can detect these chairs, the stage, the floor. So it can create a map in the 3D and run autonomously. For sure, I just like teleoperated it here using my mobile phone. But surely this can be turned into an autonomous robot that can go anywhere, anytime. So that's our R&D part that we're working on right now. So hopefully we'll be able to like give you a really good update very soon. with these full AI capabilities running autonomously. So, I mean, if you come into, there's like our stall. So if you come here to see, you will be able to like get in close and see how the robot is actually operating. So do come by. So I think we can go into the next slide quickly. So this computing stack and the sensing part is being made by us. Yeah, this robot platform is from Unitree. The robot platform is from Unitree Robotics. Software being developed by us. Yes. Right, so I think that's a good question. So this robot base is from Unitree. I think you have heard about Unitree because they have been developing a lot of cutting edge robotic systems like humanoids, quadrupeds. So we have the robot base from Unitree and we are developing the autonomous system on top of that base. So we have our own, very own computing stack along with the sensing stack. So software and the computing stack and the sensing stack are being developed here in Sri Lanka based on this robotics development from Unitree Robotics company.
If you are curious about this type of projects and research, I mean literally in USA and in China and even in Europe, they are investing millions of dollars to these kind of robots in these days. So that is one of the very high and high note industry right now, even in Europe and all the other countries.
Yeah. So now the question is, now I'm pretty sure like you are interested in like how can we get started on making such a robot. So what I would say is, and the way I did this, I participated in a lot of robotics competitions here in Sri Lanka. So there are a lot of competitions starting from SLRC, RoboFest and Exportix that have been organized by several universities around the country, and they have a school category as well. So these are some of the robots that me and my team have been developing over the years since 2017. So that's the start we have to get. And over the years we have won many international and local competitions regarding robotics. We won several micromesh competitions, battle boards, and other robotics competitions. Here you can see some snapshots. So I just want to inspire you to get into robotics competition as a starting point if you want to become a roboticist or robotics engineer one day. So here's some small video about our procedure, like our process into participating in one of the micromesh competitions. So we got the robot design, and then you have to simulate it first. You have to get it assembled. The video is a bit lagging. Let's see. Yeah, let's skip the video, that's fine. So we assembled the robot and tested it out. Simulations. We'll skip the video. So if you're really interested, you can just come there and there's a small monitor as well. You can freely watch the video there. So let's go into slides.
We'll move to the next slide. And also you can visit to the YouTube channel. We have been publishing all the videos and everything over there as well.
Also we have this robot like here in demonstration as well. So if you're interested in participating in robot competitions, you can go there and ask from our demonstrators as well, like how that was built, and you can get the robot in your hand and see it. So if you want to develop your own robot, there are several skills that you have to get in hand. So you have to learn electronics, you have to learn programming, you have to learn about mechanical systems, and then you can get started with your first robot. Go to the next slide. So you can get your own microcontroller, and then you can get your own IDE, and then you can use simulators like VBots, and then you can use a software like Onshape to do your 3D designs, and then you can use a free tool like ECA to develop your own electronics board, circuit boards. If you master these skills, you can actually build your first robot maybe this week. When you go home, you can just search about these topics: Arduino, ESP32s, VBots, Onshape, and ECDA. I ask you to search about these things. They are free, they are online. You can get started right away without spending any money if you use simulators like VBots. And then you have to start small, right? You have to form a team and try and go into several competitions. You won't be able to win in your first competition, but you have to keep working hard. And one day you'll be able to win like this team from Royal College. So they participated in several local competitions. They even failed as well. And then they went in to win several international competitions. So what I request you is to form a team. What I request you is to form a team and then devise a master plan. So you have to divide the skills between you. And then you have to join for the next robotics competition available. You have to practice for that. You have to have a really good plan. And then you can participate in those competitions like SLRC, RoboGames, RoboFest, Robotics, and so on and so. So that's my advice for you and my request, because we want you to be active and participate in those competitions and make sure that you have a bright future ahead of you. So that's what actually our vision at RoboticGen as well. Because we believe, as Bill Gates said once, if we want to become world class at something, we have to get started it at a very younger age. So that's what we want to inspire you to do that as well. So that's why we have two initiatives, like Surath, you can go and talk a bit about our RoboticGen Academy and RoboticGen Labs.
All right, so now the time is going a bit fast, so I think I will very shortly tell you about what we are doing. So at RoboticGen Academy, we have started this, I mentioned it earlier as well. So we have started this before 2 years now, and we are working on educating the students about, let's say, the STEM. Not only the STEM, but stream. It's like science, engineering, technology, mathematics, even with art and research and reading. So we are developing a concept to learn efficiently and learn the next generation technologies while you are at a very young age. So we have platforms, we have a lot of tools that we have developed and we have tested by ourselves. So that is one initiative where we are going to create future tech leaders. And this is also one of the part that we are trying to strive, because we want to give you something which is important to your life as well. And the next thing is about the technology lab that we are working on. So we develop softwares, we develop robots, we develop IoT systems, and it is also a next generation company that we are working on these kind of futuristic and visionary projects. So I think very simply that is the idea. So you all can go into our websites or whatever, like the YouTube or social media, so you will see everything. And if you're really willing to work with us, or maybe to get into the competitions, or maybe to join the academy, anything, you can go through the sites and you can check it out and reach us. So don't miss to go there to the stall, and there are some gifts as well for you if you get into the challenge. There's a very small challenge. So yeah, that's it, I guess.
Yeah, that's it, I guess. So also do join our stall there. So if you miss something, if you miss the videos, and if you want to play with the robot and maybe look at the micro mouse and other robots there, so you can come by. And so there's a challenge going on as well. Maybe you'll be able to win some gifts as well if you answer the questions correctly. So when you're free, you can come by to the stall and participate in that as well. All right, thank you so much for listening to us. I think it's been a bit difficult.
Thank you very much for bearing with us in this. I think I know that this time is not the easy for you all. I mean, you have been sitting around for like a long time, and we also have hungry. So, anyways, thank you very much, and we are really happy. We are really glad if you get something out of this, and please do your research and take your homework and do it by yourself. So that is it. Thank you very much.